speaker to this On the Horizon forum, Saioa Ramos from ASTI. She's a senior researcher at the Efficient and Sustainable Food Chain Department of ASTI, which is a scientific and technology center in Spain. It's also a NETIP member. And Saioa herself, she has a long experience in applying environmental footprint of food products and diets. And her work is focused specifically on developing software tools related to the calculation of these environmental footprints of food products, and here also on aquaculture products. So we are looking forward to hear what the outcomes of the AQUAPEF project have resulted in. So Saioa, if you can share your screen, and then we're ready for your presentation.
Okay, thank you. I want to first thank you, EATIP, for giving me this opportunity to present main outcomes of the Life AQUAPEF project, and also thank you to the all attendants for being here. I think it will be interesting for all of us to hear about these framework policies, to hear about different results on the European projects that sometimes remains that at the end of the project there is no more. And I think that these kind of events give us the opportunity to extend the impact of the project. So I think that you can see my screen. No? Yes, no? So I'm going to present today the main results from the Life AQUAPEF project. This project, the goal is the implementation of an effective product environmental footprint in the Mediterranean aquaculture. So what is the needs of the industry? As we all know, so the aquaculture sector is growing exponentially due to the increasing demand on fish protein. We know that wild fish stocks are almost overexploited, most of them, and now aquaculture appears as a suitable sector for dealing with this protein demand, fish protein demand. However, we know that aquaculture could have some environmental impact, and indeed it has, as all the human activities. It's not especially high, it's not especially low environmental impact, but there are some environmental impact that should be reduced as much as possible. Within this framework, the European Commission also launched the product environmental footprint methodology in 2013. Not 13, no, it was later, sorry. But there has been this single market for green products initiative with the European Commission, and now they are in the transition stage for bringing to the market this methodology. Product environmental footprint is based on the LCA methodology. This methodology accounts for different kinds of environmental impacts, like carbon footprint, water footprint, eutrophication, human toxicity, ecotoxicity. So different environmental impacts that are accumulated during the whole production chain of a given product. In this case, for example, SIVAS or BREEAM on the Mediterranean aquaculture production, we should account for the environmental impact linked from the, for example, feed production, how this species feed is produced, which kind of ingredients, the origin of these ingredients, etc., how the hatchery is managed, how the growing farms are managed, how much feed, the EFCR, the nutrient leaching to the environment, everything. Then the preparation in the different industries and final transportation. So this methodology, the product environmental footprint that will be on the market by 2023 or 2025, I think with this COVID situation, everything has delayed by 2 years. I think it will be 2025. It's a kind of complicated to measure by the industry, because you have to take into account a lot of things, a lot of inputs and outputs to the system, and different environmental impacts that are not very common for the final user. So with we say, okay, so there should be something to adapt to facilitate the implementation of this methodology in the industry. So this is how the Life AquaPEF was born. It is funded by the LIFE program from the DGMV. It started in 2018, and 2022, this is the final year of the project. We expect to finalize in December this year. What we have developed is a system or a tool, I don't know what you want to call it, a web tool to easily calculate the environmental footprint in marine open net farms of sea bass and bream production. This is a very easy to use tool, and it calculates this environmental footprint according to the category rules established by the European Commission. So it's not as other kind of tools that you can calculate the carbon footprint in a way, and then your competitor is calculating in another way, so it's not comparable, and it gets to confusion to the consumer. The European Commission established category rules for marine fish environmental footprint, and we have developed this tool according to these category rules. The tool allows to benchmark your product, to compare between products, and to identify main causes and origin of the environmental impact. This is how it looks like. Basically, it's an online calculator. The user, this one, the first part of the tool is to develop the value chain, because this is specifically environmental footprint is calculated for a given product. So if you are producing like whole sea bass and bream, whatever, you have to calculate for that specific product. No, it's not, each company should calculate their own environmental footprint. So each company should develop the value chain. It's very easy. It's an online calculator, a web tool. You don't have to install anything on the computer. It's everything on the net. To create the value chain, the most important part is to collect the inventory data required for the environmental footprint assessment. This is really the key of the tool, where people or users has to introduce their input and output of the system. For example, the feed producer should include all the ingredients, or the transportation, the energy requirements, or water or wastewater, while the growing aquaculture company should include how much feed they include, how much juveniles, how much diesel, for example, for the vessel, etc. Once they have introduced all the inventory data, they could extract their results. Those could be, not in the moment, those could be certified, not now, because the whole regulation is still not there, but in the future it could be certified, and they allow the identification of the causes and origin of the environmental impact. Then the user will be able, for example, to create different scenarios. What happens if I change this feed? What happens if I use less diesel but I increase the electricity? Things like that. It will be, the tool allows the comparison between these scenarios. It also will allow to compare against averages in Europe, for example, which is the average environmental impact of bass and bream, which is mine environmental impact. So then comparison, I'm above or below this average environmental impact. And this also allows for sustainability communication strategies to implement this kind of strategies. So if I am below the average environmental impact, so maybe I could communicate something. The end users of this tool could be different. The idea is to be used by the sea bass and bream aquaculture companies in the Mediterranean area. Currently, I think that there are like 600 companies that could be benefits of using this tool. We thought that big companies with specific sustainability department could could use the tool on their own because they already have some knowledge on this methodology. However, we have realized that SMEs or small companies that they don't have a specific sustainability department, maybe they need the assistance of a consultancy in order to interpret the results, to introduce the numbers correctly, etc. Associations could benefit also of using this tool. They could offer this to their members or create common strategies for their members. And for sure, administration, as European Commission or national administration, could also benefit in order to establish future interventions for the sectors. If they tell to the user to calculate their environmental footprint, then they could have the overall image of the sector in their country, and then to establish an action plan and strategies just to reduce the environmental impact really where there is. This is how the tool offers the final impact. They could here for the 16 environmental impact categories that I have mentioned before. So it's not just climate change. We know that there are other kind of environmental impact, as Laurent already told us. There is the eutrophication, there is human toxicity, and resource depletion, water use. And depending on the impact, the origin of the impact could be different. So we really will be able to focus our efforts really on what we want to improve. The current status of the tool, as I said, this is the last year of the project. We are now in the TRL7. We are validating with companies outside the project. We have already tested the tool with 4 companies, very big companies of the Mediterranean sea bass and bream production in Spain and Greece. We are now closing also some replication activities in Cyprus, maybe Italy, also trying to cover different parts of the European bass and bream production. And with this, with the feedback from the companies, we will be able to be ready to go to the market at the end of 2022. The main idea for the commercialization of this tool is to transfer this to a third company. As Alexandra already says, ASTI is a technology center. Our main aim is to research and to transfer to the industry. So we have the full package ready to go for going to the market. So, okay, who want to commercialize this, who want to really bring this tool to the market and make this useful for, not useful it is, but make this accessible for the companies and for the associations and for the administrations. So thank you all for your attention. I don't know if you are interested for sure in testing the tool or yes, giving me any feedback about the tool. So please contact me.
Thank you very much, Saioa.